All right, greetings everyone, greetings family. We don't want to take up a lot of your time, but Crawford has a blessing for us that I definitely want you guys to just pause and take a look at it because it's a life-changing opportunity. We already know how brilliant Crawford is, and I don't know a brother out there. I won't even say brother. I don't know an individual out there that does his due diligence about different things. So if he brings up something, he has done massive research on the subject matter, and trust and believe that if he says this is a direction we need to go, I believe him. So he has uncovered, a gold mine. In a nutshell, he has uncovered a gold mine, and that honestly, I love opportunities where the key to success in that particular opportunity requires just your input, your personal individual input. This way, your success and your access to creating a cash flow is not tied to any particular amount of individuals. Only person it counts on is you. And so when he shared this to us, he actually brought this up to us back in May, but we were so, engulfed in the P-Trade global opportunity that we missed that blessing, because, we believed in another brother and thought, it was going to work out. And it wasn't the fact that it did work out. It wasn't because we didn't put the work in. But now, Crawford brought it back to my attention, and I shared it with Bola and a couple other people. We all remembered him bringing this up, and we realized, hey, we're all in. So I thought I would get with him and kind of do like a mini interview and have him explain it to you all a little bit with a little bit more details. And he's not going to get too deep because really this is just a intro teaser to an actual event that I want to do where you guys will be on and we'll do a Q&A, and you guys can ask questions after he goes in a little deeper about this amazing hidden treasure within the real estate industry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Crawford, and he'll give you just an idea of the blessings in store for you all. And then I'll get with each and every one of you who are listening to this because you have been individually chosen. I will share this with you all. I will get with you to find out collectively what's a good day next week for him to do a more deeper dive on what this opportunity will involve. And so you guys can see the blessing that it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic over to Crawford. Crawford, are you ready to roll?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Cassandra, for the introduction and the accolades. I've never considered myself brilliant, but I do like doing research, that's for sure. and, I, and I thank you for that. Like you had mentioned, I brought this up back to you in earlier this year. This is things that I've known for years. When I worked in the mortgage business, as I explained to you before, I'm a former mortgage branch manager. I had a license in real estate. I've worked in construction, so I know a lot about real estate properties and how mortgages work behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I also know how the taxes work and foreclosures work because I worked in banking. A lot of times we would do mortgages and we'd have to satisfy previous debt, particularly taxes, particularly the liens on the taxes on that are due on the property. We couldn't do anything until those things were resolved. So I learned a lot, never thinking that I could apply it to an actual business because I was making money in the mortgage business. Well, fast forward to now, um, things haven't gotten better. They've only gotten worse for those people who are losing their properties. It's better in terms of people who can do this as a business because there are more people who need the help. So I'm going to explain it to you in a broad view because it can get really detailed. But I'll give you a couple of ideas of where we're heading and why this works for individuals who want to make at least an extra 40, 50, 60, 100,000, 150,000, up to more. Depends on how big you want to grow the business, and extra money and excess money because it's sitting there. It's out there. It's working for other people. It's never going to be a thing where it's an inundation of people doing it because it's just too many properties. So let's take a look at the screen here. It says US foreclosure activity drops to a 15-year low in 2019. Now, let me show you what they talk about a low means. If you go into this article, it says here in Irving, California, January 6th in 2020. So this has happened this year, and they're taking data going back only to 2019. That's not even a full year yet. And January coming will be a full year since this article came out. It said the U.S. properties in 2019 dropped 21% from 2018, down from 83%, which means nearly 2.9 million in 2010. That's how many properties that was on the block. It dropped down from 2.9 million in 2018, from 2010 to 205. And here we are in 2019. In 2019, they show here just last year, this is how many properties in Irving, California, 493,066 properties was distressed due to tax foreclosures or mortgage foreclosures. Is that sick? Yeah, default notices, scheduled auctions, and bank repossessions reported a 493,066 properties in 2019 in Irving, California. Now, this happens all over the state. In every state, they have counties, and every county has its own burden of collecting these properties due to foreclosures on taxes or mortgages. So in every state, let's put example, a state has 15 counties. We have 50 states. And not every state does this, allows this to happen. There's about 30 states. And not of all those 30 states are easy to do. Some are easier than others. But in 30 states, put 30 times 15. That's over 400 counties. And if each county has 200,000 properties in a year, now you're talking about a couple of 100 million properties a year that's on the auction block. This is, there will never be enough people to satisfy all these properties to help people reclaim their money. So it's like in anything that we do, even if there's 2,000 people doing this, let's say there's 100,000 people doing this, there will never be enough people to satisfy all of these properties. So this is a ocean, and all we're going to be is a grain of sand or a pebble in an ocean that's going to ever go, because properties every day are going up on the auction block. So your supply will never run out. This is going to happen, and it's going to continue to happen. Now let's go to this website here. This website talks about what they do in Utah. Here, they got bid listings here from 2019 and going back to 2009. And the reason for that, let me explain this to you. Every state has what's called a statute of limitation. They have certain periods of time before the person can claim any ownership to the money. Statute of limitation can be 3 years, it can be 5 years. Some 1 or 2 states I've seen it a little bit longer than that. But you only have a certain amount of time to claim it before you can't claim it anymore. So they have these lists. So this looks like in Utah, they go back from 2019. So it looks like they have almost a 10-year statute of limitation rate. And this is in Utah. Every state has their own statute of limitation, which has to be looked up and researched. So this goes on in every state, in every county. This is not federal, it's state, and is based on the county of each state. So every county might have different rules depending on where they are in that particular state. And let's go here. They got surplus money states. I only picked the top 5. The top 5 is Nevada, Hawaii, Idaho, North Carolina, and New Hampshire. That's a lot. That's a lot of counties and a lot of money laid on the line. And it's usually get titled under unclaimed money from the government. Now, when they say government, a county is part of the government establishment. So that's what they're talking about. And this here gives an idea of a person who is looking for money they may have. The problem with this site, it gives you a rough explanation. It doesn't tell them step by step of how to do it. And they're showing here that you go in the search, see the unclaimed money, your property states where you have lived. You check the unclaimed fund and bank failures, unclaimed deposits, and credit union closures. You can search the unclaimed and undelivered tax refund or refund from the FHA insured mortgage. And these are the four basic steps that a person would need to do, but it doesn't explain how to do it. It gives you a concept. It's very detailed, very, very detailed. And you have to really know what you're doing because you can lose an opportunity to claim the money. So what I've done is, because of my knowledge, is worked out a program where we can go in and do this for the person. For example, if a person is owed, let me just get a calculator out. Give me 1 second here. While I'm pulling the calculator up, we locate these people once we get the list. Now, the trick is not so much in the list. The trick is how we identify the property in the list and making sure we're able to locate the person. We can locate people by a service out here. It's called skip tracing. And we have to locate the person. So it requires some work. But if you're doing 10 a day, and at the end of the week, you got 50 people that you've looked up and tried to reach out and make contact with, that's 50 in a week. In a month, it's 100. So now you got 100 people in a pipeline that you're trying to help, or you're trying to locate and trying to negotiate deals. Now, in a month, do you think you can help somebody you can find one person out of 100 leads and help them close it? And for example, let's say they owed, let's make it round numbers, $100,000 in a property. And your services is 40%. At 0.4, that's $40,000 for a couple of hours of work a week, locating people to help them reclaim their monies. Now, I don't know many people who are making $40,000 a month. Now, let's say it was only $50,000 and you charge 40%. That's 20,000. I don't know a lot of people making $20,000 a month and working maybe a few hours a day. So, I mean, if you think this is a great idea, a great concept, then it is. If you don't, I get it. Not everything is for everybody. But there are people who do this for a living and they do very, very well at it. Something I should have done a long time ago, but can't cry about spilt milk. So this process here, we're going to go through it with them in great detail. And we're going to help them locate their money. Well, by the time we reach out to them, we already know where their money is. They don't know. So the whole idea is to negotiate a deal with them before you tell them where the money is or show them the money. It's a contract process. It requires some states a POA, which means a power of attorney, and some of it just requires a you being a representative for that person to claim the money. And here's the beauty: the check does not go to the client; it doesn't go in the client's name. The check comes to you in your name or in your company's name. You then cash the check and you forward the part of the person whose money it is, their portion. This way, there is no funny business going on. Because can you imagine a client getting a check after you've helped them get it and they don't pay you? Now you can sue them, but that's a whole nother process, and that's not something you really want to get into. But so we have the means of getting all of this done. The reason why we're getting together and asking for the money and to get this business up and running, we have to pay attorneys to generate the contracts that will fit our process in all the states. And that costs money. There are skip tracing services that we need to get started. That costs money. We're going to need to have notaries available in a particular location so they can have the notary go live, person to person, to sign the documentation. That costs money. So there are some upfront costs that we need to cover. With terms of the technology, because I do what I do, that's my background. So I've built this website out, and this website here simply goes through, tells a person about what we do, how we do it, explains to them what they need to do if they're looking for it. We got some examples of people here. They're not real, not yet, of monies that's been claimed. we have, the standard website, and it allows them, it explains to them what the process is. They can set up an appointment. If they click the button, it schedules them automatically to meet with us, a scheduler, so we can meet with them. We can do it on a Zoom call. It automatically sets them up with a Zoom call, puts them into a calendar. So this is technology stuff that I already know how to do, and it's up and running already. And so we are requiring that we have this money to get up and running, so we can so we can move forward to launch this process. Now, our plan and our goal is to initially start out doing anywhere from 10 to 15 calls a week. Our goal is to get the investors paid as quickly as possible. Anyone who is investing, we're looking to return a return of 2 to 3 times, maybe it's possible 4 times, depends on what the deal is, the size of the deal. But the first people getting paid out are the people who invested. And those who like to stay on board with us to learn the process on their own, we're set up in a course to do so. That's going to be part of it. Those who are only looking for the return on investment, that's fine. I don't know many programs out here are offering anywhere from a 2 to 4 times return on any money in less than 90 days. It takes about 30 to 60 days to get your first deal in. And then after that, just a pipeline of deals coming through. So that's the process. And I'll be open to answering any questions once we do have the live call with you guys. Like I said, it's highly detailed. There's a lot of work to get done, a lot of things to set up, but we've already covered about 40% of the setup. So upon the investment, that money will go to getting the contracts done and locating the potential clients and getting them prepared to sign the documentation. That's money that, requires, the bulk of the money is going to the lawyers, to be honest with you. I mean, it is what it is. That's what they do. But we have to have airtight contracts. So, Jasandra, I'll turn it back over to you. And, I'm available anytime that you want to do this call with the group. I'll be available.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Crawford. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for your transparency, pretty much letting us know where the monies that this small select group will be investing in and where those invested dollars are going to. It's pretty, much a no-brainer, family. This is a moneymaker. This is a life-changing opportunity. You will definitely get a return on your investment. But for those who want to take it a step further, which I believe is pretty much everybody on this call, who are listening to this call, who have been invited to listen to this call, you see a much bigger picture. This is something that a skill set that you can learn, that you can share with your family members and your loved ones, and something that can create a really substantial cash flow. So this is just something to add to your digital portfolio, to your, your additional cash flow streams. And so I look forward to getting with each and every one of you all to find out what your availability is, so we can come together collectively and nail down a day where Crawford can host a live call where he can take questions. Okay, but we're looking to wrap this up by no later than the second week of December. We got to get everybody's funds, together. And we're looking at anywhere from, $1,000, $500 to $1,000 per person. We want this group to be as small as possible, okay? So, we don't want no more than 10, 12 people max in this group. If we do 500, if we do $1,000, whatever we come up with, together, we'll vote on this as a team. So anywhere from 500 to 750 to $1,000 investment will change your life. It will change your family's life. And it's just another skill set to add to your portfolio that nobody can take from you. Okay. So thank you, family. Have an amazing Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families. Hug them, embrace them, tell them that you love them, let them know what they mean to you. And I will be getting with you guys on Friday to check on you guys to see what date we're going to come up with, so I can let Crawford know what date next week so he can put on his schedule. Okay. All right. You guys take care. God bless. Always, always pay it forward. Peace and be more. See you next time.
Stay blessed, everyone.